Hey family, Peter Odion Ipuga here. I'm super excited about the opportunity to be live today. You see, concerning the imbroglio in the Middle East right now, the best thing that evangelical Christians can say is that Jesus is coming soon. Oh, look at what's happening in the Middle East. The Psalm 93 scenario is playing out. All the enemies of Israel are gathering around Israel. Is a sign of the end time. Jesus is coming soon. That's not the gospel. That's not the gospel. That's not the gospel. The expectation that the Christians will go in a rapture before the tribulation come about, that's not the gospel. That's not the gospel. What is the gospel? God is not concerned about any holy land. God is concerned about the mind of Christ. That's the holy land. The mind of Christ and the nation that the mind of Christ will produce. That's what God is concerned about now. The mind of Christ, that's the holiest land on the earth. And then the nation that the mind of Christ will produce is the holiest people on the earth. I'm talking about the holy nation. Mind you, I'm not talking about a exchange, because some people believe that God has abandoned the Jews. When I mean the Jews, I don't mean these people of Israel that you are seeing there. No. God has not abandoned the Jews. In fact, the biggest conversation during the time of the tribulation shall be the definition of God's holy people, in quote. The enemy will help the deceived world define God's true people. So let's keep looking through the situation in the Middle East. Let's look at it as to look through it, to realize that we can't be deceived by the position that any nation is taking. The most important position I want you to capture, however, is the proposition or the proposal of the kings that are rising from the east. You see, this fight has been perennial, and the people that caused this fight, they're actually the expression of the Western Antichrist, Britain and America. The Western Antichrist has caused confusion. The Eastern Antichrist is coming to remedy it. All eyes should be looking out now at the rise of the Eastern Antichrist. Let's see what the BRICS nations will say about this war. Let's see what the World Economic Forum proposes about the resolution of the crisis in the Middle East. Keep your eyes open. As the Western Antichrist is taking a bow, even if they seem to be raising their chest and deploying their armies to back Israel up, as the Western Antichrist are taking a bow, the Eastern Antichrist is taking a rise. The most important thing now is that the road is being prepared for the Eastern Antichrist, the kings that are rising from the east, to march their armies to the west without hindrance. I want to say what I just said again. The Eastern Antichrist, expressed as the kings rising from the east, they will march their armies to the west without hindrance. That's what the world should brace up for now. The rise of the kings from the east will mean the preeminence of the communist thought in the galvanization or administration of global government. The Eastern kings are rising, and they seem to be the ones that will present a better solution to the Middle East crisis. They seem to be the one to present a proposition to the nation of Israel and the Arab world concerning how they will resolve the use of that land. Beloved, keep your eyes open and let's see what the World Economic Forum has to offer. Okay? But before then, Recognize that whatever we are going into, which itself is the new world order, shall be tribulation against the kingdom of God preaching church. So we must be the ones that know their God and do exploits in these days. We must be the one that will overcome the beast by the blood of the Lamb and the confession of our testimony. We must be the ones that will not love our lives unto death. This is the time to put your life behind your gospel. That's where we are going to now. And the people that will cripple you, the people that will fight with you, the people who will persecute you, are the ones that have joined the world to embrace the world's paradigm, the world's understanding, the world's viewpoint about the conditioning of the earth. You are seeing people running after the world now. They have the world's orientation. Many of them are saying, I stand with Israel, I stand with Israel. They have not recognized that God has a plan. They have not recognized that the mind of Christ should be presenting the option of a God-ordained government for the nations of the world. They have not recognized that many that have bought into the narrative of the world views of the world, they have actually received the mark of the beast. It's the beast that we are seeing expressing himself today. That's why you are seeing desolation amongst the nations. It's the beast that's expressing himself. Do not be deceived. Brace up. Put your mind on the message of the kingdom, because beyond all the acrimony that is happening on the earth, beyond the collapse of the Anglo-American estate or empire, beyond the rise of the final part of the new world order, beyond nations clamoring for or rejoicing that they have finally received their dominion. Hello? But that's what we'll be seeing now. Nations at the fall of the Anglo-Americans, nations that the Anglo-Americans have used their deception. The Anglo-Americans have used their deception to forge. The indigenous people will break free. Beyond all those acrimony and excitements that will come from the freedom of once bound indigenous peoples, the government of Christ is around the corner. Keep your eyes open. Keep your heart open. The message of the kingdom must be preached. All nations must experience the impact of the message of the kingdom. I hope you will be in the number so that you won't be bundled together as collateral damage. Peter Adeoyinpuga speaking. Shalom.